Hello again, friends. Hope you guys had a great week. This week on Talk It Out Tuesday, we're going to talk about the Deets on our peeps. Lots of really exciting things happening. You guys are doing independent projects. I can't wait to share all of that with you. You are killing it in Google Classroom. Then we're going to get into reading like a writer. We're going to continue that study and work together. The last thing we're going to do is talk about problem and solution writing and how do we talk about main ideas. As you're working through your work packets and we're getting phone calls for support, a lot of it is, I'm not really sure how to put these ideas together and how to answer the questions I'm being asked. That's okay, we're here to help you. So starting out with Deets on our peeps. Gonzalo made weather instruments out of things he found around his house. This is so cool. If you look at it closely, it's literally styrofoam cups and plates and a pencil, an arrow, a cup. This is all coming off of Mr. Mullaney's lessons on weather. And that's what we're talking about when we say independent study and investigation. In our classrooms, Ariana, I want to celebrate you, Ariana, for your commitment to learning, for reaching out to me and to your friends to ask for help with the learning packets. Carla is doing such a great job supporting her friends in Google Classroom and completing her work daily. Carla, I see you on Google Classroom, and so does Ms. Elman, several times a day. Noah, fantastic writing responses. Amy, consistent quality work in everything that you produce. Raimi, great, amazing work ethic. Anaya Sutton, fantastic dedication to learning. Amaya consistently turns in her work, and Brianna has been out exploring nature and found a new Enola friend. I want to remind you all that our 5th grade Zoom meeting is today. It's on Tuesday every week at 12 o'clock. You just click on the link in the Google Classroom. Very easy to get there. You click on that link at noon and you'll be hooked right in. So moving on to our written responses, guys. This is part of the celebration that I want to offer right now. And this was Raimi. Raimi, I'm using this. I hope that you approve of this. Just extraordinary work. When we talk about structuring writing and how writing is put together, she did an excellent job at first stating her big idea in her reading response and then giving a detailed explanation to support her big idea. So I told you that it's never too late to turn your work in. She turned in her opinion writing on social distancing. She started out by saying, I think social distancing is very important because when you keep your distance from others, the coronavirus is less likely to spread faster. And then she went on to give an example of what she meant. My mom owns her own store, so when she comes home from her store, we don't really go to her until she takes a shower. She has to take a shower downstairs instead of upstairs. So here she gave her fact, and then she gave an example of what she was talking about. Next paragraph, she did the exact same thing. And this is important, friends, because for your assignment, you're going to be asked to do the same kind of writing. Give your idea, and then give an example. I also think social distancing is very important because I want this to be all over ASAP. That means as soon as possible. People need to keep 6 feet or more away from each other. By keeping distance from each other, you protect yourselves and older people. So here again, she gave her second big idea, and then she gave the detail to support. So last week we were talking about text structure, and the first structure we're really focusing on is problem and solution. The reason that's so important, and we're going to spend a little bit of time on this, is because it's going to take you some practice. It's going to mean that you're going to have to go back and read articles again maybe, or try your hand at another article before you really get the hang of it. But the whole goal of it is for you to listen to somebody else's ideas and then be able to talk about them. So readers recognize text structure, then they know how to follow along to understand and talk about the main ideas and the details. And the text structure we're going to talk about again this week is problem and solution. And the reason that's so important is because as soon as you understand how the writer put ideas together, then you can just have a conversation about it. So for example, when we talk about the astronauts and how the information was put together, first the problem was explained, right? The astronauts were in space, they talked about being isolated and how hard that was. The second part of that article was all about the solutions to the problem. And so that's where you get the main idea. What is the big idea that the writer's talking about? Well, if you understand the structure and how it's put together, boom, you'll get there and you'll be able to talk about the main idea. What does the writer want me to understand here? That's always the point. It's like when a teacher's talking to you or your friend is talking to you and they're telling you maybe about their birthday, they're gonna say, oh, I had the best time. There's their big idea. And then you wanna know more. Give me the details on that. What made it a great time? You put those things together and that becomes the main idea, right? So for our problem and solution structure, the problem of isolation can be solved by, your job is to read the second part of this article and find out how the astronauts solved their problem of being isolated and what advice they gave to you. So in our assignment, some of us got so close to getting the main idea, but we were leaving out those details, the solution details. So here is the first part of our article. And the writers talked about how, being isolated like this, it feels like living in the basement of a large building for a long time. That's a problem. Hadfield said they work each day with the same small group of people with no way to leave, very much like our homes. We love these people, but their workspaces are their living spaces. They see the people they love only through video chats. Again, they're isolated from their friends, they're isolated from the planet in their case. So in the first part of our article, we got their problem down pretty well. The second part of the article, these headings, that's where they go into the solutions. And so your job is going to be, look at each heading and read what the writers had to say to help you understand how they solved the problem of being isolated. Pretend you're living on a new planet. So what they were saying here was, just think about this as being a new opportunity to try the things that you used to do in a new way. Where we used to be able to get out and go to the store and hang out with our friends, we can't do that anymore. So what does getting out look like in this new society? That was one solution they gave to the problem. Here's the second heading. Make sure you have missions every day. So as you're reading this part of the article, friends, I want you to be looking for, what does he mean by having missions every day? On the space station, to-do lists were made for us every day. Missions range from fixing a toilet to studying particles of the universe. However, at home on Earth, missions can be as simple as brushing your teeth or calling a grandparent or doing your Google Classroom assignment. You should always have objectives every single day. What do I want to get done in the next 10 minutes? What do I want to get done in the next hour? Think to yourself, what is the solution that they offered here? The third heading, find creative ways to interact. There's loneliness, separation from my family and friends. Coke said she was able to video chat with family about once a week. Feeling connected meant doing fun things together. When her friends ran a 10-kilometer race one Saturday, she raced with her friends on a treadmill in space. She and her crew sent a Battle of the Bands challenge to friends. They took turns playing songs with the few instruments they had. Hadfield recorded music from space playing his guitar. Coke said she sang and played the maracas. So how am I going to talk about it? First, you're going to explain the problem. Living in isolation or separated from others for a long time was hard. There's the problem. But, and now you're going to tell about the solution. The first idea they gave was to pretend that we live on a new planet and learn new ways of doing things. And then I just went over the second two headings with you. So for your assignment, you're going to read the rest of the article on social distancing from astronauts, or for those of you who have already done this and you did a great job, you have another article to choose from, Lapping the Living Room. Marathoners Get Creative. That article will be posted for you in Google Classroom, and you're going to have a solution box activity to complete for either one of those articles. It's your choice. And you're going to share your advice for overcoming the problems of isolation. Remember, state your big idea, just the way we saw Remy do, and explain it with examples. Tell readers what you're doing differently to stay healthy and connected during this time. We're really proud of your work, you guys. I can't wait to see your thinking on this, and you are going to nail main idea very soon. See you next week.